Today we got the bees for our beehives that we are starting this year. It's exciting, but a little scary at the same time, especially since I am allergic. However, the bee suits we have will protect us. The first step is to make sure to have the beehives set up and ready to go. The second step is to go get your bees. We had them shipped to us, and it's quite an experience to go to the post office to pick up buzzing bees. Once we arrived home, it was important to put the bees in a cool, dark place to allow them to rest for a little while. Being shipped is very stressful, even for them. Next, proceed to step 3, which is to put our bee suits on. We upgraded the bee suits to this breathable mesh, and it tremendously helps with not getting too hot. It keeps us completely safe from bee stings. Pull out 3 of the frames from the center of the brood chamber to create a space in the hive for the bees. This will allow the bees to get into the hive easier. Next thing to do is open up the bee package. Pry open the wooden pieces that hold the bees. We have enough bees here for 2 hives. Next, pry open the top lid. Underneath, you will find a can of sugar syrup that comes with the bees. This black string attaches to the small queen cage. It is held in place with the can. When you pull the can out, you will need to pull the queen cage out at the same time. Make sure to pry up the staples if the black string is stapled to the bee box. Keep the wooden top lid nearby, as when you pop out the can of sugar syrup, you will need to put the lid over the hole to keep the bees inside. Tap the bee box to push the bees to the bottom, and then pull out the can. Quickly put the lid over the hole to keep the bees inside while pulling out the small queen cage. On each side of the queen cage, there is a stopper made of sugar. On one end, there is also a cork. Once the queen cage is put into the hive, the worker bees work very hard for 3 days to eat away at the sugar stopper to release their queen. If for some reason the queen isn't released in those 3 days, the other side of the queen cage with the cork can be removed and the worker bees can get to her. Tap the box once again to make the bees drop to the bottom, and remove the lid and quickly invert the package over the hive body. Firmly and vigorously shake the bees into the space in the hive. Prop the package in front of the entrance of the hives so that any remaining bees in the package can crawl into the hive. Carefully put the 3 frames back in place and place the queen cage in between 2 of the frames. Try to make sure the queen cage doesn't fall down into the hive. Once the queen is in place the metal queen excluder screen on the top. This makes it so that the worker bees can come through the excluder to get sugar water, but the queen, because of her bigger size, doesn't allow her to get through, so there is no chance of her drowning in the sugar water. On the top of the metal queen excluder screen, place the box that will hold the sugar syrup. Pour the can of syrup into the box and place the hive lid on the top. We will come back in 3 days to see if the queen has came out of her cage and to also feed more sugar water to the worker bees. We here at Survival Homestead Teaching Farm, SHTF, hope you have learned from this video. Having bees isn't only good for the abundance of honey they produce, but also for the bee pollen, honeycomb, beeswax, and the amazing pollination it provides for gardens. Thank you for watching. Please continue to help us help you by liking, sharing, and subscribing.